rankings. Like I think Aster's a very solid team. EHOME also beat Vici in the group stage. So like I think these, that's one of the things that I really like about this region is on any given day, anybody can beat anybody in the top like 6 or 7 teams of China. And I really do believe that. And it's so crazy when like DPC is happening and you've got these major slots and these minor slots because teams miss out that, I mean, I put RNG at the top of most regions or qualify, a team that could qualify in most regions or Aster or even I would go as far as to say even eHome. Of course, IG, Vici, and LGD are in that, echelon too, but that's more of a given. And it's just like you see these series coming up and to be quite honest, you think it's going to be Aster and maybe IG winning these series, but you realize it could go any way. And these guys play some exciting drafts. They play a lot of different drafts. We saw some good drafts yesterday. And I guess maybe for IG, they're hoping that they don't get screwed on the tier 5 neutrals this time. Because, Woodwind Striders or, Mirror Shield, I'm going to pick Mirror Shield 10 out of 10 times.
Woodland Shot is just so funny. I love playing with the Hyman, like running circles around people to trap them in trees. I've done it in like some games before with friends and stuff. It's just hilarious that it can be used for so many stupid different ways. But yeah, in terms of game winning items, it would definitely take Mirror Shield.
It's just it is very unfair. It seems like when that goes down, and go on.
I was just going to say we get to see the 25% win percentage Grimstroke now.
He's up to 25.
It is.
He's getting there. You know who's really down? Mars. Mars is at 20. Grimstroke was the lowest, and now Mars is the lowest. And I find that ridiculous. And there's the coddle.
DK Cot was a really strong lane. And it's because DK has these like mana problems early on, right? So you tend to see him go for Soul Ring. If they end up putting the DK safe lane with the Keeper of the Light, it'd be interesting to see whether he skips the Soul Ring completely or if he just goes for it anyway early on. Because I feel like if you can get like a double brace or something on that hero instead, it feels pretty good. And there's so many different heroes that can get enabled by Keeper of the Light still in the second stage, like Bristle, for example, as well. I think he's really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm surprised they didn't pick it up in the first phase. Bristle Cottle or Ember Cottle, which I think is probably a little bit stronger. But I mean, DK, decent hero. We've seen a lot of it this tournament so far. So I think X Nova won with the Grimstroke yesterday, right? He was the guy that has boosted the win rate, I think.
I think so, yeah. I think there must have been like a win or two throughout the day, but I know for sure that it was X Nova that did get one, and they banned that Phantom Lancer out, and I think that's a little bit funny just because of what happened last night with Phantom Lancer actually beating the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying, like, PL's been second phase banned a lot of these events, in this tournament, sorry. So that's why when they picked it yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, like, we have hardly seen this hero, but it's because it's banned out so much more than it is actually picked. And speaking about heroes like that, Timbersaur's got banned in the first phase again.
Never to be picked, Not one pick in this tournament.
I think it's had 30 bans and no picks now, I'm pretty sure.
It's honestly ridiculous that somebody who hasn't been picked in a single game is part of 75% of games. So, like, that's such a wild number.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know where else have you seen a hero been banned? Maybe Wisp back in the day, right? Banned so many times without getting picked or hardly getting picked. Back when he was like a first phase ban.
Yeah, I mean that hero's still okay, and like we talked about, Bobica's super good at that hero. So we're just going to take it out of the pool, everybody, whenever they play Aster. Not worth letting them have it. They're actually taking their time here with this pick.
Ooh, I like the Disruptor.
The POS 4 Fade Disruptor. Yeah, Fade. I was going to say, why am I doubting myself when I said that? So it gives them a little bit more team fight, which is nice. You have the Will-O-Wisp as well. So, is it called Will-O-Wisp now? Is it Ignis Fatus, or is that the name of
That's the name of the actual orb, I believe.
Right. Okay.
Also, I don't know why I feel like SCCC is going to play like Naga Siren or something.
I mean, Naga
That's been his.
Oh, okay.
Terrorblade. You just. I don't get to have a moment of maybe thinking about the being correct on a pick. I just have to be wrong immediately, and then just go on with the show. I guess. Oh my god.
So we've seen some people be playing offlane DP. I'm pretty sure has Faithpian played it this tournament. I think he has. I think they might have played it in the series against RNG in the upper bracket.
The offlane Earthshaker?
The offlane DP.
Oh, yeah. And it didn't do that well. Ooh,
New hero.
Visage. Well, we've seen Visage once.
Have we?
Was that? Oh my god. I always feel like I'm getting confused with We Play. I'm pretty sure we saw Visage once.
I don't think we have we? Maybe it was the day that you cast with
No,
Jeff.
we didn't. Not in this event. Sorry, that was We Play. Division 2.
Oh, funny thing, by the way, We Play released their stats for their thing, and they said that Grimstroke had a 50% win rate for them. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe it's just us then that's struggling with our Grimstroke win rate.
Yeah, the fact that Grimstroke has a 20% win rate right now, or 22% win rate, is all those EHOME gamblers are like, couldn't you pick something else, guys? Please? And what might be the reason like that it's such a drastic change from region to region like that?
I have no idea. I think it's just, sometimes that the hero can have a bad win rate for an event. Like, it happens. Teams that pick it just lose games. And, 25% is really low considering the amount of matches that it's been picked in. But I don't think the hero's too bad. I honestly think, personally, it's because China's a little bit slower in a lot of the games we've seen from, especially like the non-LGD Vici teams. So this Grimstroke, because it constantly wants to be running up people all the time, and not every team is, I think it's losing more games than it should. Because people aren't utilising the hero well in this region a lot of the time. Also, I don't really get this Visage pick. Like, they have DKTB as their two cores, and they have a lot of armor between them.
Is it a mid Visage and an offlane Death Prophet potentially? Or
could be carry Visage as well. Like, I'm not really a massive Visage player, so I don't 100% understand why it's strong here.
I saw it offlane, if I recall correctly, in that match that I don't recall what event it happened in, apparently. But it was offlane, and it did get kills early, but it went Soul Assumption level 1, which is not the norm, if I'm correct.
I've been seeing more people play it as a 4 than anything, so it could be like 3 Shaker, 4 Visage, I think, which isn't awful.
Wouldn't be a shock.
The Soul Assumption is really good, though. I've laned against that recently, and it hurts like a lot. So, especially against TB, who doesn't have high HP pool. He has really high armor. He just wants to sustain himself in lane throughout this physical damage. If the shaking can get a couple of enchant totem hits off onto him, and then all of a sudden a soul assumption comes through, he is going to be taking a huge amount of damage. And I'm glad if they do that, then Faithian Shaker would be really nice to see. What do they want to match? My question is now, do they want to match up the tempo of the game that they've got with their own cores already with the DP and the Visage? Or do they want to fall back on something in case it gets to the late game so they can fight against the TB? Because we saw that from Aster yesterday, where they picked something that wanted to scale in the AM.
Just before the timer runs out, Beastmaster. Oh, okay, sorry. I had to get it in. I didn't want to do it again 8 days in a row. Where I just go, I was going to say that. I swear. I was coming out of my Sorry to cut you off right there. It had to happen. Okay. I just, and then I saw Troll, which he kind of looks like Beastmaster. I got a little excited. And then the reason I thought Beastmaster was because of what you're saying is the pressure and the tempo of the game. I would have thought maybe that they would go, say, mid-Death Prophet, safe lane Visage, off lane Beastmaster, and have that kind of, tempo pushing. But they go to the Troll, which is a little slower than the rest, but they could be doing this for start to play early to have the one active later.
Yeah, I don't mind the Troll though. Like, it's a Roche hitter as well, which we talked about when you want to play this tempo game. You want to make sure you get that first Aegis online for yourself. They also have Grimstroke Visage, by the way, which should be really interesting. So some double soul assumptions coming out. And then I'm pretty sure you get a talent later on. I think it's might be level 20, I think. And I've also realized they have Jin Q on their team, so he's probably going to be playing the weird hero, right? I think that's how it works.
He's probably going to be playing the Visage.
Yeah, exactly. That's my pro tier analysis here, is that Jin Q does whatever he wants, and so he's going to be playing the Visage.
He's definitely been most versatile in the tournament. The one thing I will say about the fact that he's been the most versatile is I think people are starting to figure out his play style a little bit and have made him pay for, that aggression.
Greed.
Yeah, the greed, the aggression, they've shut it down, and they go to the bristle like you said they would, and I like this lineup from Aster.
Yeah, I think this is a really good bristle pick. If they can play around it well. Yeah, they're going to put Fade on the Keeper of the Light as well. I think that's a good idea. We saw Boba play this Disruptor yesterday when he got those lovely spell usages off. So, I think you give Fade the Keeper of the Light, and they're going to go in lane together and just pressure this troll really hard in the laning stage. That lane is horrible to play against Keeper of the Light Bristle. I've seen, I know Insania, when he did it with Liquid before as well, he likes buying Blightstone on the Keeper of the Light at the start of the game, just to amp up the Quill's damage on top of the constant spam coming out, which I actually think would be really interesting.
Faith Beyond's played this Visage twice recently.
Okay.
Three times overall. Played it 18 hours ago against SAG, Sparking Arrow Gaming. Went 11-2 and 15 on the hero. And then played against LGD. That first game was in the Chinese Pro League Season 2, and then played it in DPL CDA against LGD, and went 7-3 and 14, and did have the Grimstroke paired with it. I will say it had Pango, Ember, and Ricky, which I think is a lot more of a disruptive lineup in that LGD game. And then SAG, they had an offlane Puck. I don't even like that. But they had Ember again. Earthshaker was played by Jin Q. They've gone this Grimstroke Visage combo. Like, that's, I think, the combo that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what items he's going to build either, because I feel like he's just kind of their utility item slave, if you like, for the team. So whether he feels like he needs to go Solar Crest or like Vlad's or whatever, but I'm interested to see what he does, because like I said, I'm not a massive Visage player, so I can't micro to save my life. So I'd be interested to see what he does.
Didn't you
especially
say
in the laning stage.
You could micro to save your life yesterday? You said it with the Nature's Prophet.
Oh, I mean, I tried. I did.
You said you were doing so well. You're doing really good, and
yeah, but that's why I was doing really good, because it wasn't awful. When I say I was doing really good, I was probably doing really good for me, which is like I did something, which was nice.
So they've been playing this combo, and they have a 100% win rate with the Grimstroke Visage combo. Now that's a small sample size of 2 games. I will say, I'm worried about the Grimstroke, because you're getting. Does this cause you to then get Soulbind at 6? Are you then taking less levels in Inkswell early? What is the go-to here? What are you trying to get done? And it will end up being Soul Assumption level 1, and they do send the Terrorblade up towards top. Like I could see this being a very aggressive lane here for EHOME, and potentially one that now that of course they spot the Terrorblade with that ward, one that really shuts down SCCC in this lane.
So someone in chat said that they are using it to Inkswell the Familiars on the birds.
The battle begins.
Which is interesting. I don't know how good that's going to be this game, though. Like, they have the Bristleback, which, these constant quills coming out can really disrupt the birds. Can kill them off if they're not careful. They have super high armor heroes as well, so even if you get this like massive Inkswell onto the birds, coming through, I don't know where their follow-up damage is, right?
You're saying the Inkswell through the Visage Familiars?
Yes.
How does that... Huh, okay.
And they just fly in.
Oh, the Inkswell. Sorry. I don't know why I thought you said Stroke of Fate. I was like, that doesn't work.
What is just happened there?
Chuanu losing his courier to nothing to say, and where did that courier end up dead? It must have been right on the lane.
It's just next to the tier 1 tower. It was weird.
So Inkswell with the familiars as Faith Beyond taking a lot of damage. Oh, one more shot. Wow. And I will also say I don't know if we mentioned it in the draft or maybe I've already forgotten because you know, with this quarantine my short-term memory has apparently gone with it. But Bristleback Cottle. We usually see a lot of Bristleback. We've been not seeing as much Bristleback Cottle recently.
Yeah, I mean, Keeper of the Light's been banned out so many times, though. That,
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
It's actually going to Illuminate.
What I really hate is that he's taking Illuminate at level 1 when he has a Bristle in his lane. Why would you not just take Chakra Magic and let him carry on pressing W? That feels really silly to me.
He's still about a creep short of level 2.
I'm just keeping my eyes on top lane all the time. I really want to see what this Vicious is supposed to be doing.
Yeah, Fisher comes in, and they've got the Grave Chill hitting on a Bobica, but SCC doesn't have Metamorphosis, and they've got, oh my god.
It's actually horrible to lane against. Really horrible. Bot lane, Inkswell as well.
Just doesn't look fair. Yeah, they'll pop it on the Bristleback, but the Quills are coming through. Sylar now needs to be, you know, very careful. He's got 5 stacks on him, but the Stroke of Fate and the last hit from, Innocence. Bravo.
Oh no, they just south the troll as well, and he. Oh god. What is happening top lane?
Loses his courier. I don't understand how you're letting Jinkyu get the courier like that. That should not be. Oof.
He got the Wraith Band on it for the TB as well. It's like it's not a small thing.
Denied.
So the question is, what can they get out of this lane? 2 kills there for EHOME early on. Certainly a good look so far. XSS only sitting level 2. Sylar halfway into level 3. This has not been fun for him, but level 2 into the Chakra Magic, so no lower cooldown on that, and a good extra second on the cooldown reduction.
Yeah, I think level 3 is when this lane starts to get really strong for Aster, for both these heroes. Because level 2 Quills feels really good to level to take, and obviously the level 2 mana.
Ooh, SCC. He ends up dead. Soul Assumption again. They get the kill there. They're doing really well in this top lane.
I think his courier dying is a really big deal, by the way, in this lane. The fact is, you know, he needs as much as he can in terms of like innate tankiness with stats, just to try and survive this lane. So like the fact he lost 1 Wraith Band, he's managed to buy another one here, so he's gonna have 2.
Oh, courier delivers it right before he leaves. So his lane that timing worked out.
Yeah, his lane is going to be a lot easier now, at least.
Looking towards the 5-minute bounty runes coming up in 50 seconds. And now you've got that level 2 Quill Spray, and you've got the Chakra Magic, so just trying to do as much as you can to really deter Sylar in this lane. Do you think he goes for a casual level in Viscous Nasal Goo?
I don't think so. Not in this lane. He could, but I think he just needs to like just tank up, honestly, because they can still kill him with like Inkswell, right? And just Stroke of Fate him by running at him.
Bobica.
Yeah, he's.
A glimpse is not gonna help all too much.
Damage,
it's just way too much damage this early on. He gets a salve off, but I mean, he still ends up dead, and now he's used the salve.
I assume he's going to go 1-4-1 on the Visage as well. And I think this hero's been like... I think this hero's been slept on a little bit for a while, Visage. I think it is much stronger than people give it credit for, especially as a 4. Because the damage that comes out from Soul Assumption is really strong. It's just it has a really high mana cost, 150. So like... Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I'll say I'm a bit surprised that they're giving up so much over in the top lane. It looks like it's just going to get worse. Innocence shows up. They've got the Inkswell. That'll stun up SCCC. He looks dead to rights at this moment. Stroke of Fate comes in, and there's the Soul Assumption with the Fissure. There's nothing you can do on that Terrorblade.
Yeah,
and now, despite all that, his lane's not terrible net worth-wise, but it's certainly not going well.
Xinqi's 2-0-2 as well on the shake at the moment. He's had a really good start to the game. Like, he's got Tranquil's Windlay stick at the moment, which, considering he's got 3 CS, it's pretty good for 6 minutes in. And there's going to be a DD that spawns top here. I think DP going to be happy to go and gobble that one up.
Fill up the bottle. It feels as though now for Aster, you just got to rely on your Bristleback doing a little bit more in the early game or mid game, and your DK, because you're going to need a lot of time for the Terrorblade. But do you think it helps that, you know, maybe XSS goes into a Hood as well as a, you know, a Crimson Guard? Right now he's going into the Vanguard.
Yeah, I think when you're playing
damage from Sylar. Sylar's got the trance, or actually he does. Now he's got it. He finally levels it, and he's doing a lot of damage on XSS. There's no help, no coddle here. Battle Trance is used. The Quills come in, and he just solo kills this Bristleback, runs him down. Terrorblade is out in the middle of nowhere, silenced and dead. I mean, this is Aster just getting absolutely hammered, and I mean, at this point, this is the tempo that they wanted to play, and they're going to use this first exorcism to try and get this 2-1 tower mid. I think Aster this game's looking to be in a lot bigger trouble than a 2,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, like, this is the thing that we see from all people when they play DP mid, right? Everybody just rotates mid, and they try to get kills with the first exorcism, so really well played by EHOME. It feels like Xingqiu and Innocence are just making all the right moves at the moment.
This is what we were saying. EHOME, you know, despite the bad showing against Will Never Give Up, are a team capable of, you know, stealing games here and there. And I think the thing here, too, is Sylar, he's sitting 2 levels ahead of XSS. XSS is so far behind. Does finally take a level in the Viscous Nasal Goo. Juan is rotating over, but this isn't exactly accomplishing anything unless they're able to secure the tower.
Yeah, they want to try and just push in the tower here. Sylar's going to go back to the jungle, but I think he might even TP top on the troll, actually, if he pops his wand to get mana. Because they have the Visage Birds that can push as well. It depends whether they feel like they need the troll there or not, to be honest. Interesting that he went treads on Nothing to Say's DP. Oh, they're actually going to try and defend bot.
And as they should. It's a level 5 Bristleback and a level 5 Coddle. Had it been level 6 for Fade or XSS, I think that maybe that decision would be a little bit less prioritized, but
I think the fact he has a regen rune though as well will change his... Yeah, he wants to just get some effectiveness out of it as well. Like,
might be the first death here for the side of EHOME, but the Inkswell stuns up the Bristleback. They bring over the Troll. Here comes the Disruptor who gets the glimpse, but the damage onto the DK is way too much for them to handle. Their supports are not level 6 yet. They're just not outputting enough damage. They've got the silence onto the Bristleback with the Phantom's Embrace. He's trying to get the Quills out. Fade with the Blinding Light. Pushes back, Nothing to Say, but it's a double kill for Sylar, and they get Fate. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this game is looking like the fat lady singing at the moment. There's no answer for Aster. And especially it's getting worse and worse with the fact that they just don't have their supports with these level 6 in a fight like that.
You have to remember that's no exorcism as well from EHOME, and they still take that fight like that. Yeah, they need their 6s up on Aster.
They need to get this outpost stopped then.
But to be fair, it's like it's not even 10 minutes in, right? Like they're not expected to have level 6 by now necessarily, so they're both doing okay in terms of XP. Like they're not that far behind. Yeah, but these outposts would mean a lot to them if they could get one.
Nobody's going over for it. I'm surprised Juan doesn't even want to go and get this outpost. There he goes.
Oh, I think he's going to be too late though.
Ooh, he turned around and breathed fire, and he's got it right on the mark. We'll see if he gets credit for it. If it ticks at the right moment.
Jesus.
Does, just barely. That is playing with fire.
They're stealing the ancient stack though on EHOME.
Yeah.
Which one?
I will say Xingqiu's only level 4. They look to go after this Dragon Knight.
Oh my goodness.
It's just so much damage. The Will-O-Wisp comes in, but it's not doing anything. They don't have a TB to fight with. TB, he does have Metamorphosis, but he's just not in this fight. They're going to continue to chase XSS. They've got the glimpse. They're doing the damage onto XSS. Finally, Innocence dies. They get themselves one. The Static Storm is down. XSS turns around with a Soul Assumption. So much damage, and the Fissure comes in and finishes him off. Bobica dead as well. Fade in trouble. Exorcism, I will say, is not getting used on the tier 1 tower bottom just yet. However, this is
they don't need to
not
use
great.
Exorcism on the tower when they can use it on heroes instead. That's the... they are constantly just running at them, but this DK's falling so far behind. It's 11 minutes, he has Treads, Bracer, Soul Ring. Like, this hero wants to be playing from in front, you know, making the right rotations across the map, but it feels like he's died 3 times in a row without actually achieving anything. Sylar's going to go Diffuse or Blast to first as well, which I think is really important this game. When you're playing against Bristol, DK, TB, like, these heroes really enjoy having their mana, especially TB, because if you can constantly be hitting him and drain his mana to 0, he doesn't have mana for Sunder. And Sunder costs 200 mana at level 1.
Radiant's middle tower
So far, this is just not looking good for Aster on all fronts, and they really have not let off the gas here from EHOME. XSS sitting level 7. He does finally have that Vanguard. He's going Heaven's Halberd. So, I mean, we'll see where this goes for them.
I mean,
if he can even get that.
The Halberd's nice against Troll, and there's no point going like Hood or anything this game, I don't think. You have to itemize purely for physical damage as well. So, I don't mind that too much. I think it's okay. I thought he might go Solar Crest instead, but I think the Halberd's also a really good item for him.
Will-O-Wisp up in 12. I thought maybe the Will-O-Wisp as well as the Static Storm could be there and really help them out. It did okay in that first fight, but you see what Visage and his familiars are doing, and now you've got the Diffusal Blade finished on the Troll 12 minutes into the game. He's going BKB next.
Yeah, I think the BKB timing for them is going to be the big one. Just start, you know, just go and take the Roche, try and transition it into a high ground. Push, see what they can do. Because they've taken so much of the map already. I feel like this tier 1 mid has to be the next thing for them on EHOME. They're going to try and go for this top tier 2, but...
Dire's top
that's
tower
surprised if
is
they
under
didn't try and
attack.
work their way towards this mid lane relatively soon.
That's working on a stack, cleans it up before the Ancient ends up respawning in that camp. Meanwhile,
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Bounty.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
My lines fade. Double damage. Mine.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Yeah, this is like a massive moment for them. This Blink Shaker reveal. I think if they can get a big sum off in this fight, they're going to be feeling really good about this game. Like, I think they need to take one more good fight on EHOME to feel really comfortable here.
Radiant's bottom
But
tower
this
is under
Bo3
attack.
Disruptor feels so underwhelming. When you're playing from behind as this hero,
Roshan has fallen
it's
to the
so sad. And they smoked up to try and get to the Roche pit here to contest, and they're just nowhere near.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I really dislike that he's maxed Berserker's Rage
Radiant's
last on the
bottom
troll,
tower
actually.
has fallen.
I feel like the hero, that skill's pretty good because it gives you the extra movement speed, the extra ensnare chance and duration as well. Scare us pretty well, whereas I feel like Fervor doesn't really.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
They've spotted him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, it's pretty good, honestly.
Your stain spreads no.
On all these illusion heroes, you get the crit effect onto every single one, so it feels pretty good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So let's see how this is going to go with Sylar making the move over bottom, and the rest of the team still sitting over mid.
Bounty.
Dire's middle
It's just
tower
gonna.
is under
It's
attack.
another tower here for EHOME though. I don't think Aster are going to be ready to defend this one. They're just not in the right position here. Like, they're lacking really key items still. Like, DK has Blink, but it's the kind of item he needs like 5-6 minutes ago, right? You know, TB has Manta, but it's not going to allow him to fight either. He is just going to go BKB. I wondered if he would go for like the less greedy play, but I don't even think it's an amazing BKB game for him. I think he just feels like he has to because he's playing against this troll with Diffusal Blade, and if he just loses his mana in the fight on a TB, he doesn't really do anything because he's so reliant on this Sunder this game.
Oh, Nether Shaw, Jesus. Make Faith Beyond even stronger.
A nice little bit of spell amp on a Soul Assumption as well.
BKB already finished here for the troll too, and he's got this Aegis to work with for a long while. And the
Dire's
medallion
bottom
coming in
tower
for
is
Faith
under
Beyond,
attack.
he'll be banking that into a Solar Crest. I just don't know how you defend if you're Aster. I feel like your options are so slim, and if you lose a fight, you're going to be punished with at least a set of racks going. BKBs are being finished for EHOME
Radiant's
on
top
both their
tower
one and
is
their
under
two.
attack. Dire's bottom tower has
Nether
fallen.
Shield for the Dire side could be pretty nice for the Keeper of the Light or the Disruptor as well. But in terms of it giving you minus armor this game, probably not very handy. And they're just going for this. They want to try and force rotations
but
back.
he doesn't have the Elder Dragon form to work with. Familiars go down, and can he at least kill Familiars? He doesn't want to go out too far. I will say that worked out for Aster pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, it's okay.
Dire are scanning.
It's really difficult for them to push into the Bristle. Like you saw, he just stands on the high ground, right? And he's so annoying. I'm wondering what the Troll's going to go for next, though. Does he want to go for like a Satanic or something here, and just help it sustain throughout like a high ground push, or does he want to go, for something like a Skadi of his own, possibly? I also really dislike that nobody on this Radiant side has a Vessel, by the way. I feel like you're playing against Bristle DK, right? Yeah, I feel like either Faith Beyond should be going for it, or maybe even the DP if it comes to it. But it's just a really good item for them this game, especially because of how far behind they were on the Dire side. They're definitely not going to be having BKBs at a good timing. The problem is they don't really have a good Vessel builder, because Visage wants to go for like the Helm of Dom, the Medallion, the like the AC later on possibly as well.
Smoke, and this is going to be for the DK over bottom, who senses it, has a TP, can leave, goes into the corner, hasn't TP'd out just yet, and these familiars are going to be able to scout him out if he's not too careful. So he does blink further into the trees, gets the TP away, and not a bad job. Again, I think Aster have done a good job of slowing down the aggression from EHOME. Yes, they were trying to high ground just a moment ago. They didn't get the tower. Terrorblade's gotten a lot of time here, and he's just about looking to finish this BKB.
Yeah, I think if you look at the net worth graph,
innocence.
you can see like after 10 minutes or so, it looked like the trajectory of the graph was going to be like so much higher than it was now. But, like you said, they've done a good job of slowing everything down a little bit here.
Question is, can they sustain that kind of trajectory? And it's not exactly that easy. They're still working against the Blink Echo. And Fissure blocks his path, but doesn't hit him. The Familiars will stun him up. They do have Sylar coming over, but the Blink, Dragon Tail, Static Storm down onto the Visage with the Will-O-Wisp, but the BKB's been popped. They get the kill into the Visage. Soulbind's out there terribly, trying to do what he can. A lot of damage on it, nothing to say, but here comes Sylar, drawn on a run. BKB is still active for Sylar, gets the root, gets the kill. Now the question is, what do they have? Because, yeah, there's the Fissure, and there's the Soul Assumption. They need Sunder. They need a way to get it off, and they just won't. So that fight really goes the way of EHOME. They're going to clean up the rest, and I think with that, this should be a high ground siege and potentially the game.
That actually felt like a really good fight for Aster at the start. They managed to kill off the Visage straight away. But I love that Faithman just instantly buys back into the game, and he's like, I'm not going to be afraid to go here. Let's just carry on.
They still haven't used Echo Slam. Look at this dash.
Fissure, actually.
They just clean people up.
Everybody's so low though on the Radiant side.
Yeah.
And they have no.
But that's still without Echo. Ooh,
yeah, Faithman just dies to the tower. Like, what just happened?
And all they're going to get is the tier 3. Yes, they do break the high ground. I maybe spoke a little soon saying that this game was over. There was definitely moments where it definitely felt like that could just be the game. I mean, it really does. Down so much, and it just feels like, I don't know, that fight was the best it was going to get for them. Schwan got posted is pretty hard. That's a big kill, I think. You know, just any kill at this moment for Aster seems like it's been a big one.
Yeah, I mean, they smoked for that though, so like the fact they only fired Innocence is pretty sad. They would have liked to have found one of the cores instead, but not going to happen.
Do they even kill a core though if it's just the two of them?
I think they could. They have a decent amount of damage because they had Static Storm up again as well, I'm pretty sure.
So, Will-O-Wisp up in 10. Static Storm available. 4 staff for the Disruptor. And they're not going to smoke. They don't have one, I don't think.
Fade has built a Vestal as well, which you saw last fight, just absolutely destroyed the Visage. Which is why I still feel like somebody on the Radiant should be buying one.
Looking like it's setting up to be a potential Echo, but there's the Dragon Tail. They've got the kinetic field down. BKB's coming in with the Will-O-Wisp. Static Storm is in. BKB's been popped by the Death Prophet, but nothing to say is still dead. So they get the kill there onto the DP, who could buy back, but there's the glimpse on a Sylar. They need to make sure that they get to him. They've disarmed him within the BKB, and now SCC gets focused a little bit, but XSS, they're kiting him around really well. A lot of damage being done, though. There's the Echo, but they get the kill onto Sylar. This is not going the way of EHOME, and Aster all of a sudden, this feels great for them. They've got a glimpse. Good 4 staff by Faith Beyond. However, still the Blink, and Blink looking for the Dragon Tail, finds it. Can they get the kill? They'll have the Fissure, and they've slowed him up. Blinks again, and Sunder through from SCCC. He'll use the Ghost Scepter to try and survive a little bit longer, but there comes the kill, and I will take back my words happily to see this game go on longer and be a much more exciting one, as Aster, I think that's a turning fight by leaps and bounds. I think one of the bigger problems, though, is the fact that Bristle and DK still feel like they just don't have a lot. It will be a quick Roche, quick-ish.
I know they don't have a huge amount, but they're doing a lot for what they do have. Like, DK has a Blink stun, right? And like this Bristle's just standing in the front line the whole time, and they can't really kill him on the Radiant side at the moment unless they drop so many spells on him. Like that fight, it was like This troll was hitting him with battle trance. They had to echo him. They had to fisher him. They had to use everything on him. And in the meantime, like, this TV's just smashing away at everybody. And he's so farmed now on the TV. Like, he went for this BKB. He's almost finished the Skadi as well. He's only a few hundred gold off.
There's the BKB from the DK. That should help him survive a little bit longer too.
And I'm going to go back to the point. I think if the Radiant had a vessel at the timing they were going high ground, I think they would have been able to find these kills so much easier against heroes like the Bristol and the DK.
XSS, he did end up dying in that last fight, but overall, I think he did output quite a bit of damage. Stayed alive for a while, too. That Essence Ring, a big one for him. He'll finish off the Crimson Guard in just 100 gold, and then be going towards that Lotus Orb, which, in the right moments, could do quite a bit. MKB next for SCCC, as he's got the Skadi. They definitely want to maybe posture towards Roche. It's going to be up now. And if they can get a pick off, or especially if they kill off Nothing to Say. And sentries down. Blink, Schwan, Static Storm, and the Kinetic Field. They've got the lowest thing, but there's a great fissure. Great job. And they're kind of bundled up. They don't have the Echo to work with just yet. The BKBs are going to be popped. They look to get the kill on Nothing to Say with the Yule staying alive a little bit longer. Sylar moving forward. They should finally kill off Nothing to Say. Now they look over at Sylar. There's the Echo coming back up. They can't get the Sunder off, and this Terrorblade is dead, so this is going to be falling apart for the side of Aster. Very much so. Soulbind is in. Schwan not surviving with the Soul Assumption coming in. XSS is now surrounded. And just as quickly as Aster were able to get it back, there in so much trouble. Bobica getting body blocked by Xingqiu. The Kinetic Field is out, but the Stroke of Fate slows them up, and they've got the Soul Assumption once again to get themselves a third. They do take the life of the Death Prophet, but they lose 3 in what could have been their fight.
I don't really understand what the DP's doing though. She keeps running into the fights assuming she's not going to die. And TB just absolutely smashes her to pieces every single time. Like, she is not respecting the amount of damage that they can output on the die, but yeah, still really good fight from overall. Fantastic echo by Xingqiu.
Which just came up in that fight.
Yeah, he used it just after the TB BKB finished as well, and they just had the instant follow-up damage from the troll, who, you know, with this MKB can get through that TB relatively quickly now.
Now the Soul Assumption hits 2 targets.
When you have a Grimstroke, that's very funny, by the way.
Ooh,
nice telescope for the Grimstroke.
He's holding onto the Grove Bow for now.
He's got it coming out on the career.
There we go.
Because core players never do this.
Sword, wow.
Core players never give you the items that they pick up, by the way, even if they're right next to you. They just send them back to base every single time. Bot lane, Fade's in there.
Yeah. Why is Fade?
He's just pushing out waves.
So
it's his job at the moment.
Unfortunately, because he does not have buyback. And that's big, because 35 seconds without him, he's got Will-O-Wisp in 10. However, pressure not coming in just yet from EHOME. BKB's getting load for all cores. 7 seconds for the Death Prophet. 7 seconds for the Troll. Should be about 6 or 7 for everybody around the game. 7 for the Terrorblade, and then 9 actually for the DK. Double damage for Sylar, and he's got the Paladin Sword.
What's that range attack?
So Exorcism committed. They'll have the Will-O-Wisp as well as the Static Storm. Silence through onto the Bristleback. Meanwhile, Terrorblade's just towards top. He's got Metamorphosis to use in this fight. There's the Blinding Light. They might be willing to give up a set of racks, especially with TB pushing top. The question is, can they give up anything more? They need to be careful about this as the Silence continues to come forward. There's the Fissure hitting. They're looking for the Inkswell on Bobica, but they back it off. The Familiar doesn't actually commit to this, and now, the longer this goes on, they might be able to get themselves a glimpse and find somebody caught out. Although EHOME do a good job of avoiding that exit, and it will just be TPs towards top. Terrorblade never gets even the tower.
I think they have this feeling at the moment on Aster that they can't fight until this MKB comes up from the Terrorblade, because when his BKB runs out, these Trolls whirling axes are making it really difficult for him in the fight. Like, he gets this 60% mischance on him, and then it's kind of like, oh dear, like we can't really do anything because we can't hit anything. He's also got the Paladin Sword on the TB now, so both carries picking one up. Makes it a fair fight. Sylar has this
Sylar?
Basher now as well, and he's getting really close to that Abyssal, actually. About 1,500 gold away or so.
Is this an Ags kind of TV game? I'm gonna ask it every time.
No. Stop asking for it. It doesn't, like, it's always an okay item, right? But there's so many items you need to make that hero work still. Like, you need damage.
Yeah.
You need, like, you want the Manta, you want the Skadi. It's like a decent 5th, 6th item, I think. But I don't think it's like an amazing thing.
I will say if Aster somehow miraculously hold the high ground, they should look okay. You know, with potential to win this game.
They're just controlling the map though at the moment. Aster kind of just stuck in their base. Like, they're falling further and further behind in terms of net worth because they've got nowhere to farm on the map. Their item progressions are just going to be stalling up here.
Yeah, fighting in this age is going to be a little bit tough.
Aegis does only have 50 seconds left here, so they might want to try and use this with here. They have the Exorcism back up again on Nothing to Say. And I love that they're using the Solar Crest on him as well.
Good point for Nothing to Say to be stopped in, but again, the TP is just not there. Finally, he TPs in, and let's see what they're going to be able to accomplish. It looks like the tier 3 is destined to fall. Fissure hits on a Bobica. The Dragon Tail comes out onto the Death Prophet. They'll pop the Metamorphosis. Sylar is low. Damage through onto the Familiars. They'll go down. Or at least one will. Glimpse out on Innocence, but can they get the kill? The Silence, the Manta, the BKB, and now they've got the Soulbind. So they'll back off, they'll pop the Aegis, the BKB from Schwann. That'll run out in just a second. Jinkyu comes in with the Fissure, out and with the Echo and the Force Staff, but he's got the Sunder. So the damage is there to get the kill onto the Earthshaker. Earthshaker dead for 50 seconds, but the Silence and the Bash in trouble. There's the Abyssal, and they'll take out the TB. This could be the beginning of the end as XSS is now surrounded. He does have buyback, which he'll be forced to use. They're trying to get around this troll. The Spirit Vessel is on him. They'll get the kill there. He's gone for 85 seconds without buyback. Now they'll focus on a Nothing to Say. Soul Assumption, Spirit Vessel on Nothing to Say as well. So they were able to use that to get the kill onto the troll. So now they're starting to take out numbers, but the Fissure comes in. They're trying to get Faith Beyond out with the Fissure. There's the Glimpse, brings them back. You TP'd back home, but you're pulled back into our grasp. And we'll get the kill onto the Visage.
Yeah, really good fight for Aster, actually, especially, you know, the TB had to buy back, which is really sad, but, you know, you hold your high ground in terms of, like, you don't lose any more racks there, but, I love that SCCC has Rapier queued up now. I think he has to now, like, it's the play.
But can he even survive with it?
Yeah, I think because he has the Paladin sword, though, as well, I think that'll help him out massively. And Troll didn't even manage to get Battle Trance off that whole fight, by the way. Like, he just got kited around towards the end of his second life. I think they had what was it? There was something they had in him before, and then they used the Dragon Tail afterwards.
I don't know if he's going to be able to survive with the Divine Rapier. I just think because he was killed because of the fact that they had all that control. It was a good job by Jinkyu to Force Staff himself right on top of the TV to land that Echo. And then the Echo, the Totem, the Bash into the Abyssal.
You have to remember, they only won that fight, though, because the TB bought back. And now he doesn't have it. So they have to do something that's going to give them a chance of winning the next fight. And the Rapier is the only item that can make such a difference that they take them by surprise. Because they are really far behind still. You know,
well, they're only 8,000 behind. That they really did quite a number on them pulling it back. Again, though, the Dragonite and the Bristle just don't have that much.
Yeah, the Dragonite and the Bristle haven't itemized to do damage. It's literally just SCCC. So he has to be the one that's, like, doing everything here in the fights, which is why Rapier's just, like, the only option, really.
Which means it's a must for them to go in and get Roche. Is he going to sell that Wraithband to get the Divine Rapier? No. But now he's got the Divine. And we'll see if that ends up being enough.
Like, he might end up just dying, unfortunately, and not being able to use the Rapier that well, but it's the only play that he has left. You know, if he dies, the game's over anyway, so...
Yeah,
Might as
and
well
he
just go
needs to
for
be
it.
able to get the Sunder off. They've got the Fissure as well as the Dragon Tail, but there's the Inkswell. Echo Slam came out pretty early, so SCCC, let's see what kind of damage he's got. Static Storm is down. Exorcism comes in with the BKB. They look over at Jinku. They'll get the Cone of the Earthshaker. He's dead for 70 seconds without buyback, but Sylar coming behind him. He won't be able to slow them up. The damage on nothing to say, but there's the silence, and look at this! He's just gone! And he does not have buyback, so now EHOME need to be the ones on the run. Now, the thing is, this is with meta, but this opens up Roche. If you give Terrorblade a second life, he can hold on to that Divine Rapier, and he would be a lot more confident in these fights. He sat back pretty far on that last engagement for the right reasons. He waited for the Echo Slam to go down, and then once it was down, he moved in, and they cleaned up 2 heroes. I mean, on top of which, they're going to just go through mid. They don't have the Death Prophet. They don't have the Earthshaker. They know Echo Slam's down. The Glyph comes in, but can they accomplish the hold? He'll use the Manta, and now the Metamorphosis is gone, so that might dictate whether or not they're going to stay. Through backdoor protection, still able to rip through the tier 3. And with that tier 3, they'll back off, and they know that Roche is up.
Look at the couriers in the pit.
They're fighting. Dun, 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 dun. No, you come over here.
I don't know why that Radiant Courier is still there, because you know they're going to go to the Roche pit.
But the 7 seconds till they've got the Earthshaker. They need to get this Roche very quickly. They need to... A second Refresher Shard could be huge here for SCCC as well. Having that double BKB, having a double Metamorphosis.
Radiant's courier has
And it's going to be close. They need to be careful. Stroke of Fate comes in. They're looking for the Inkswell. Great job by Fade. Aegis is picked up, and now the BKB is going to be popped by SCCC. That was a great, brilliant job. And good fissure coming in from Jinku. That blocks out XSS as well as Xuan. They're going to try and just BKB TP out, but a BKB into the Abyssal Blade. Xuan now needs to fight this. He doesn't have buyback. He's actually 500 gold short, and losing this DK, I'm not sure it's the end-all be-all, but it's certainly not a good feeling. And now they've got the Minotaur Horn dropping for the Earthshaker as they get that kill.
Yeah, they're going to give it to the DP, though, I think. Yeah, she's just to get the extra strength on her is really nice. And the small free BKB is really good. I actually think this DK is a big deal because in a lot of these fights he's controlling up the troll, like during his ult and such. And I think like he's their only like real hard lockdown. So you know we talk about the TB being the one doing the damage, but this DK was kind of enabling him to do that by controlling up the cores, especially the DP in the fights.
So now they'll use
I think
the
they're really going to
Exorcism.
struggle to hold this now.
Static Storm silences through. 40 seconds till the DK is up. XSS trying to hold, and they're going to Blinding Light push him back. It gets a little bit easier with the Blinding Lights continuing to come through. They still have Glyph, so they need to work this out and work this out well enough where they're able to continue to just push them away. Soul Assumption comes through. Sylar taking a lot of damage. They haven't even committed to the Metamorphosis yet, but now XSS, he's in the right spot with the Fissure, but the damage coming in on another thing to say. Oh my god. Now SCCC will look over at Sylar with the Will-O-Wisp. Oh, can he get out? No, he can't. They didn't even need the DK. They do lose XSS. They lose Nothing to Say, and they lose Sylar.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, Jinky put that Fissure down there at the start of the fight because he wanted to try and block the Brittle off. And unfortunately, the DP got glimpsed at exactly the same time, so ended up on the other side of the Fissure. And it meant the TV just went to absolute town on her there. That was crazy. Like, she dies so quickly. And I don't know if there's an item that she can build that stops this. Like, because this raw physical damage from the Terrorblade is just always going to be there. And the thing is, they have this Keeper of the Light just constantly using Chakra Magic on the TB. So this meta cooldown's going down so much quicker than it normally would. So like, if you're EHOME, you'd be like, okay, well they don't have meta anymore, so at least you know we have a better chance of fighting. But you know, this constant Chakra Magic on him is it's so good.
Arcane Rune. Is the Arcane Rune? Sorry, other casters in other languages. 41 seconds, but with a couple of Chakra Magics, he might just use the Metamorphosis. They don't have Death Prophet for another 10. They're not going to be able to force the Troll buyback, but they do have the Satanic finished off on the Terrorblade. That does mean he doesn't have buyback. The Aegis is going to expire in 2 minutes.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Ninja Gear, which he'll ship back.
He needs to keep the Paladin's Sword on the TB. It's just too good for him.
Yeah, the thing now is
Yes.
DK will have buyback going into this next fight. I mean, we look at the buybacks. It's Troll, Visage, Coddle, Grimstroke. and TB's is actually coming off cooldown. He just doesn't have the gold for it.
And you're seeing this Vistage now is just really struggling to have any game impact, right? He's going for Silver Edge, which I think is definitely the right play here. They need a way of just getting through this DK and Bristle. But yeah, in terms of like when it gets to the late game, this hero just falls off so quickly.
Will-Wisp used Innocence. They used the Will-Wisp. That's a long cooldown for a kill onto the Grimstroke. But they do have the Refresher Shard.
Yeah, exactly. I think
he's going
they
Solar
didn't have the
Crest,
Refresher Shard there. And it's all of a sudden it's just a 2k lead, by the way, for the Radiant side. That's crazy.
Bottom tower is under attack.
This will fall into the next Roche for sure. Or, well, I don't know that for sure, but it definitely seems like that is destined to be the case, because this Aegis is going to expire in just a couple of seconds. It almost feels like Sylar is not even doing enough. Like they've been able to kite him around really well. I would say the ending item, though, would be Disruptor getting an Ags, and with the next Roche, Ags Blessing is going to be involved. That could be that's going to be a game changer, especially if Aster take the Aegis.
Yeah, and I think the problem he's having in the fights is that they don't have anybody that's hitting Will-O-Wisp, and when it's going down from the Keeper of the Light, he's trying to use it after Trolls use the ult, so that he can't focus the Will-O-Wisp down. Because he's just completely out of control, right? He's just going to be hitting heroes all the time.
Smoke from Aster. Come around onto the high ground. There's Sylar. That's the damage. Look at that just coming through, and he's going to get the battle trance off, but he is looking very dead. They've got the disarm to pull him closer to the team, and now with this, he'll end up gone. That'll probably force the buyback, but where is XSS? He ends up surviving. The Sunder's used by SCCC. He's got the Satanic to heal up with. The Will-O-Wisp was committed to that. Fade no longer having that Refresher Shard, and I mean, they want to force the buyback from Sylar for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. And yeah, the Troll got the battle chance off there, but he didn't get his
blink from Jinkyu, but the Dragon Tail comes in. They've got the buyback coming in from Sylar. A lot of damage. There's the Echo Slam. They'll get the kill, but Jinkyu taking a lot afterwards. He'll end up falling. They stun up SCCC. He's got the Manta. He's starting to try and leave. Satanic's on cooldown for another 14 seconds, but the Death Prophet looking like he's going to die. Metamorphosis on cooldown now. How long are you going to be willing to go in continually as the BKB is going to be popped? SCCC looking forward, needs to get the Satanic off for a Sunder, but he just lets himself die. Rapier's down, and this game's... What was that?
That was... Troll finally managing to play a fight where he could freely hit people, and XXS is brought back here. They have to be really careful. Oh, they missed the Fisher because of the Force stuff.
They've got the Glimpse throwing back Troll, and they're trying to get out of this one. They've got the Blink Dagger available, and now he's going to try and TP out. He's got it just barely. So do the rest, but you've given up the Divine. Metamorphosis on cooldown for another 55. The timings didn't work out. I don't know if EHOME will push with that Rapier immediately, as Roche is close. But that is the damage that was helping them win these fights now into the hands of EHOME. And they have been able to kill Sylar pretty quickly, but the question is, now can they accomplish that without the Divine Rapier? And TV, he's got buyback. He's going to hold for it. And so it'll be an effective buyback in 30 seconds. But, I mean, that was a game going from even to 15,000 in the net worth lead for EHOME. Fissure missing, Bobica 4 staffs away. And like I said, this next Roche is going to be very important because they'd love to get that Ag's Blessing on Bobica. I mean, and the Aegis, of course, and everything else.
I think that was the first fight in forever, though, right? Where the Troll didn't have to fight under a Will-O-Wisp because they used it just before.
Yeah.
So he kind of just did whatever he wanted the whole duration. Yeah, all of a sudden, you know, when you start to, build up a few attacks in a row on the TV, you've got the Basher as well on the Troll. So it feels just so good. And now with this Rapier, they might just go, honestly. They probably want to wait for the Rage if they can. Oh, it's actually a really quick spawn though as well. And yeah, the flick is so good this game. When you're
It'll
playing up against...
spawn in conjunction with the TB, so I think Aster just are forced to having to fight this. They don't actually have vision inside the pit just yet, as they're not going straight to Roche.
The thing about the flicker, by the way, is that when you play against this TB who has reflection, it's like a super easy purge to take off the reflection, so that you don't have to commit BKB for it. It's also really good against the miss chance as well from blinding light.
So he's going to go for another Divine Rapier, at least try to even up the match. He's only 300 gold away from it, but he's still going to need to get that, and it's not a tough path as they've got Faith Beyond just kind of camping the secret shop spot. They will look like they're not going to smoke. No. But they will try to walk over and get the Divine. There are, however, familiars waiting.
They might just kill the familiars though really quickly here. Oh, he just went to the top. Yeah, so they ping out that he has it. They know.
But if they can get this second life, which it looks like they will, I mean, it happens pretty much in a flash. That's Aegis Cheese, Refresher Shard, and the Ag's Blessing. And the Ag's Blessing, you might even want to put on Innocence.
Has fallen to the Radiant.
Yeah, they're going to make their own little TB. Which is going to be so scary if he's in meta form as well. I mean... that Dark Portrait's going to rip through people. Like, look at its outgoing damage. It's 150%. So the raw damage that comes up from that TB is going to be so high.
What have we here?
All of a sudden, the TB's got himself a second life, or the Troll's got himself a second life. They've been able to rip through the, the other parts of this fight pretty well when they had that Divine Rapier, but the question is, can they do that now?
I think it's a lot more difficult for them now that Troll has a rapier as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that he has a True Strike now against the Blinding Light is really important. So he doesn't even have to worry about like one thing anymore. And just the raw damage items on Troll feel so good because of the high attack speed he gets. They're so scared to walk up every single high ground, EHOME, wherever they go. And I think Aster are doing the right thing by holding their own high ground here. You see they've got the vision down. It's going to be about which team wants to try and make the play first, where they charge up into the other side. Because whoever has the high ground advantage is going to be feeling really good with their vision already set up. But look at the net worth of everybody in this game, by the way. Like, this DK and Bristleback are so far behind. Like, this Grimstroke, because he has the Ag's Blessing, is now ahead of them.
They really haven't gained much this game. And the Silver Edge just to get through this Bristleback. If he gets spotted, and he would just be immediately dead. And, I mean, he doesn't have buyback for another 2.5.
The best thing about the Silver Edge, by the way, on the Visage, is that he has an Enchanted Quiver as well. So the extra attack range that he gets from the first hit can apply from the break on the Silver Edge. Which feels amazing, because he doesn't have to commit so far to a fight. Like, he can just attack from really far away.
So if this game continues to hold still for the moment, I mean, what do you buy if you're Aster to try and bring this game back? Is it that time?
They're just so far behind, so I'm looking at things they might be able to buy for their lineup. I'm like, we're just so far away from everything.
He needs to watch out. And the smoke gets broken. He's going to look for Faye, but he goes Invis. There's the fissure on a Schwann. The damage isn't going to be enough. They've silenced up the TB. They look over. The Soulbind hits, but the BKB's been popped by Schwann. They've got these familiars hitting away at the DK, and they've also actually got the damage through on a Bobica. He doesn't have buyback. He never got the static storm out, and he is just going to be gone out of this fight. They look over at Sylar, who gets the battle trance off, but the Satanic's been popped by SCCC. The Will-O-Wisp is down. They've swept him up. Do they have the damage? They've got the Hex now. He's got Sunder, but he's silenced, and gets it off.
Is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it. Sylar now down for his first life. Echo Slam comes in. SCCC will eventually fall. There's just nothing they can do about that as the Divine Rapier is on the floor. They'll get the Abyssal Blade out onto the DK. They'll take out the rest. This should be GG. And away Aster go, giving up the Divine Rapier first. Both Rapiers end up in the hands of EHOME, and that's game 1 going to EHOME.
I actually thought that fight was going to turn there at the end when they managed to put the Will-O-Wisp down, because this is exactly what I meant by they waited for the troll to pop Battle Trance first when he didn't have BKB, and he got kited for so long in that fight. But yeah, I mean, it's literally just TB 1 versus like 5ing this game, because the Brist and the DK were so far behind. They offer loads of utility with like their with the halberds, with the stuns that the DK has as well. But yeah, Bobica dying right at the start of the fight never helps. And the weirdest thing about that fight was Sylar, when he ran high ground into them in the first place, he popped Satanic when he was full HP. Why? Like, what's the need? But yeah, I mean, decent victory for EHOME overall. Considering the start of this game though and how it went, I feel like they should have been able to, finish out this game a lot quicker than they did. So I think going into game 2, I don't think Aster should put themselves down too much. This Visage was really difficult for them to play against. And I think we might see either the Grimstroke or the Visage banned out here. I don't think you want to let both through again in the